Hey y'all, what's up? Your girls back at it again, and welcome to a brand new episode of Gifted Since '92. And I will be reviewing Elle Varner's new single, Loving You Blind. It just came out on Friday, and I'm a huge Elle Varner fan. So let's get right straight into it. It's been a minute. Elle Varner, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since Elle Varner put out music. And Elle Varner is talented, she's underrated. And I've been a huge fan of hers since the day she came out with her debut album, Perfectly Imperfect. And that was a couple years ago. That was in 2012. And Elle Varner, like, she was one of, like, the new emerging R&B artists that has that, R&B soul and funk and jazz to it. So with Elle Varner and a talent like hers, I think, like, she is needed in R&B and she's underrated. And I feel like it's been a long time coming for Elle Varner fans getting new music from her. Everybody was singing Only Wanna Give It To You featuring J. Cole. Everybody was singing Refill, and that song is pretty much one of her biggest hits. I think Refill, hands down, it's one of her biggest hits. And then she had I Don't Care. So she had that, and then she was like going to release new music sooner, but she tried to put out a couple more singles here and there. I know she did a single called Don't Wanna Dance featuring ASAP Ferg. So, like, Elle Varner, she's been, like, doing her thing. She's been trying to stay consistent. But I feel like the last few couple years, she just had to take a break and be on hiatus and just, like, okay, this is where I'm at in music. This is where I'm at. So she's a singer, songwriter. She plays her guitar. So it's like Elle Varner, to bring back a song like Loving You Blind is a great start. I think this song is different. And by what I mean different is an artist like Elle Varner in R&B. She's very versatile. Because if you listen to her older, like, I don't want to say older music, but even before her debut album, she put out a mixtape called Conversational Lush. That mixtape had like a lot of like R&B jams, and she had a little bit of pop jams, but she had like a mixture of R&B, soul, and funk. And she was working with some producers, I think their name, Pop and Oak, and they were like producing for her and her sound too. So Elle Varner, like, has always been a talented artist. She, people know who she is. She's been performing, at a couple award shows she's performed. I know she performed, like, at the BT Awards, Soul Train Awards. So she's been getting herself out there. But for a talent like Elle Varner in the R&B department, she's needed because we don't have a lot of soul R&B singers that can really sing. And for Elle Varner to have that talent, she can sing. I love her voice. It's more of like that raspy tone, and she knows how to hit those notes. She's not like I would kind of put her in, I wouldn't say she's a powerhouse vocalist, but she got some octaves up there. She can really sing. And the way how she sings, her tone is unique, is beautiful. She just has a beautiful voice. It's just raspy, but not in a bad way, but it's like playful. And she just, the way how she sings on her records, it just has like that raspy, playful tone voice that you don't really get to hear nowadays. And then in her records, they're just organic, and it doesn't seem forced. It doesn't seem like, oh, like she's trying too hard to, like, please the crowd. No, she has always been doing her thing, and that's why Elle Varner fans, we support her, and we think like she's absolutely amazing. Because she has stage presence. She's done a couple of shows. She's been on a few tours. So it's like, for her to still make music and to put out a song like Loving You Blind, it's a perfect way for her to start off with her new era. So she's going to put out a new album, of course. So my review of Loving You Blind, I think the direction of the record, the production, is more like a folk kind of record, a folk sound. It's more like, kind of like, just a chill production. You can hear the instrumentation, you can hear the production. So she's singing along, she's saying like, personal things about love and, the things she's been through. So it's like she's singing from the heart and she's singing from the soul. And that's why Elle Varner is really like to be honest, like, she's one of the best in my book in R&B, because like I said, I grew up with R&B and the great R&B artists before. And for Elle Varner, you know, to me, she's still new, she's still fresh, because I feel like a talent like her, and for her to be, you know, in that department of R&B, and I saw some like bird chirping mofos trying to throw shade and, you know, hate and try to, people were just saying like, oh, oh, Elle Varner's putting out music, we ain't interested in no more. But nah, it's like, y'all, like I said, people try to act like they can just throw shade at these R&B artists, especially with these black artists and the musicians, because I'm telling you, you gotta step our game up to support them. And you complain about, well, why we don't have a lot of variety of R&B. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, as I said in my previous video, there are a lot of talented R&B artists that are making their way in R&B, and it's really sad that the genre is like struggling right now. It's trying to make its way return on the forefront, because it was so fucking like it was just thriving, during the decades of like 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s and so on. But I said this time again, this current of music right now is so oversaturated with that trap and that hip hop. It's a lot of trap music out. So for these R&B artists, they're dealing with a struggle and a challenge to like, well, should I go so far in the trap lane and do R&B? Because you have some R&B artists, they are doing the trap and they are doing the R&B. And it does blend together. I really would say it does. But to a certain degree, because I feel like with certain artists, and like with Elle Varner, she experiments with her music. So you can't put her in a box. And see, I saw some commenters saying, oh man, she put out a record like Loving You Blind. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear R&B. But it's like, the issue is people want to put artists in a box, and you can't do that. Either you rock with the artist or you don't rock with them, and that's the issue. I think that an artist like Elle Varner, because she's done records like Only Want to Give It to You and Refill and I Don't Care, those records, R&B records, soul records, funk, and then it's like, okay, but you listen to her other songs, or even listen to like her music in general overall, she shouldn't be stuck in the box. She could put out a song like Loving You Blind, because I tell you what, be damn for sure somebody else, another artist or another person, a non-black artist, I'm not, I'm just keeping it 100, because I know how it goes. Oh, it's just a slice of bread. Oh, okay. But with Elle Varner, it's like, why is she putting that out? And that's what shows you how some of these music critics and some of these people who say, okay, well, R&B artists, they need to step their game up and bring R&B music back. Okay, well, Elle Varner, she put out Loving You Blind. It's a beautiful record. It's a great start, and I feel like she will continue to make R&B music. She will do R&B music, but she is experimenting with her music, and she wants to make the music that resonates and reflects her as an artist individually, and that's why she stands out. She's one of the few that really stand out, and even with her, she stands out, because that's why everybody was like bumping to Only Want to Give It to You and Refill, and everybody was singing Refill. Everybody else was singing Refill. Refill is the ish. Refill, that song in one of her hits, one of the books, is one most likely people know Refill from Elle Varner. They know, because that song was such a huge hit for her. Everybody was singing it. It was so different. It was so unique. It's like R&B, and she had a little bit of that folk kind of like music, the production that blend into the R&B. So it was like, wow, something different. And then the fiddle, like it's like, okay, so why is it an issue for her to put a record like Loving You Blind, which, like I said, I'm sure Elle Varner is not trying to cater to the masses, because I don't think that is not in her, like, intentions to do so. And I feel such a very disturbing and such a shame that, these artists, they put so much into their craft and work. It's like, okay, cool. But anyway, Loving You Blind, I love Loving You Blind. It's really good. The production is more like, that folk. It's like a storytelling too. So she's like, having all these emotions and stuff, and just pouring her heart and soul out. And she put out the video too, which was really good, you know. So it's like, to see her blossoming into her own artist is a good look. And I am ready for a new Elle Varner music. I support this girl. I mean, she is a talented artist, and I want to hear more from Elle Varner, and I look hearing from her, and I will support her and get her new album. So guys, tell me what you guys think about Loving You Blind. You know, share your opinion, share your thoughts down below. Are you Elle Varner fans, and what do you expect from Elle Varner with her new music this go around? So like, comment, share, subscribe, and click on the link down below, and see you next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, Gifted Since '92, narrator reference. Peace.